Today, we're diving into 6 powerful habits that people with seriously high IQs use every single day. Let's get right into it.
So, what if I told you that your IQ score isn't set in stone? For years, we've all been told that intelligence is genetic, right? You get what you get, and that's the end of the story. But what if that's not the whole picture? And that's because the most important thing to really get your head around is this. Intelligence is not some fixed trait you're born with. It's dynamic. It can actually change. This really breaks down that old debate perfectly. On one hand, you have the myth that intelligence is locked away in our genes from day one. But the reality, the truth, is that our daily habits can literally change how our brain works and grows.
Think about this for a second. Teachers actually said Albert Einstein was slow. They told Thomas Edison he'd never amount to much. Now, if intelligence was totally fixed, their stories would have ended right there. But obviously, they didn't.
So what was the secret sauce? What changed for them? Well, it wasn't their DNA, that's for sure. It was their habits. The small, consistent things they did every single day rewired their brains and, ultimately allowed them to change the world. So let's break down exactly what those habits are.
First up, let's explore 3 really powerful habits that are all about developing deeper, more original thinking.
Okay, so the first habit is going to sound a little weird in our world of constant information. It's this: think without constant input. We kind of believe that just consuming more videos, more articles, more podcasts makes us smarter, but that's just not how the brain works. Turns out, neuroscience shows that our brain actually gets smarter when it's forced to think on its own, without new data constantly being fed into it. Einstein was famous for this, just walking and thinking for hours. So try it yourself, 20 or 30 minutes of walking, in silence. No phone, no music, and yeah, it's going to feel boring, maybe even a little uncomfortable at first, but that feeling, that's the feeling of your intelligence actually growing.
Habit number 2 is all about learning to love the struggle. It's a simple idea. Try to solve the problem yourself before you even think about looking for help or the answer. Benjamin Franklin had this incredible method for this. He'd read something, then he'd close the book, and he'd just try to rewrite the main ideas from memory. See, he wasn't just testing his memory, he was actively building it. That whole process of trying and failing and trying again, that's not a sign that you're not smart. That is the process of building intelligence.
All right, our third habit really builds on that last idea. It's about using writing, not just to, take notes, but as a real tool for thinking itself.
See, most of us look at writing like it's a storage device, right? A filing cabinet for ideas. But the smartest people, they see it as a thinking tool. It's a workbench. Writing forces you to slow down all those thoughts racing around in your head, to focus on one idea at a time, and to figure out what you actually think. When you write something down, your brain creates a much clearer mental image of it.
Okay, let's move on to the next set of habits. These are all focused on building a stronger, more flexible, and honestly, a more powerful mind.
This next habit is absolutely crucial. Don't just stay in your one little lane of expertise. The smartest people are often curious about, a little bit of everything. Our brains think so much faster when they can connect ideas from different, seemingly unrelated fields. Seriously, learning about astrophysics might just give you a new way to think about a coding problem. Understanding a little music theory might change how you see a pattern in history. Each new thing you learn creates new connections, making your thinking way more innovative. Basically, the more dots you collect, the more amazing connections your brain can make. Okay, habit number 5 is critical. So many people just say, "Oh, I've just got a bad memory." That is a total myth. Memory is not some talent you're born with. It is a skill you can train. Let's think of it this way. Your memory is a muscle. The more you work it out, the stronger it gets. It's not a fixed thing at all. So, the real question is, how do you take that muscle to the gym? Well, here is a simple but incredibly effective daily workout for that memory muscle. Step 1, read something. Step 2, close the book or the website. And step 3, explain what you just read to someone else, but in your own words. That act of teaching is actually one of the most powerful ways to strengthen your own brain's understanding and recall. And finally, our last habit, and this one might be the most surprising of them all. To actually get smarter, you need to give your brain real, significant rest. Just consider this for a moment. Charles Darwin, one of the most influential scientists in all of history, only did his deep, focused work for about 4 to 5 hours a day. So what did he do with the rest of his time? He walked and he rested. He knew a secret we seem to have forgotten.
The brain does its upgrades during rest, not during the constant hustle.
So get a full night's sleep and allow yourself to be bored sometimes. Boredom isn't a sign of weakness. It's your brain's recharging process. It's just like your phone. It works way better when it's had time to power back up to 100%.
So, we have covered 6 really powerful habits that can fundamentally change the way your mind works. Now, let's talk about what this actually means for you.
Here's the single most important thing to take away from all of this. If you really want to think more clearly and learn faster, stop focusing on just cramming more information into your head. Instead, start by focusing on building better habits. How you learn is so much more important than just what you learn.
So I'll just leave you with this question. Look, don't try to do all 6 at once. That's overwhelming. Just look at the list again. Which one of these habits, which one, feels like something you can start today?